Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Today I will teach you about what is electrical safety.
What is an electric current definition?
It is just a flow of electrons in an electric conductor such as a wire.
What is voltage definition?
Voltage is what makes electric charges move. It is the push that causes charges to move in a wire or other electrical conductor.
What is resistance definition?
When an electric current of 1 ampere passes through a component across which a potential difference voltage of 1 volt exists, then the resistance of that component is 1 ohm.
What is electrons?
A lot of people think of electron flow as electrons moving along a wire freely like cars go down a highway. Actually, it works a little differently. Any conductor thing that electricity can go through is made of atoms. Each atom has electrons in it. If you put new electrons in a conductor, they will join atoms, and each atom will spit out an electron to the next atom. This next atom takes in the electron and spits out another one on the other side.
What is atom?
All matter is made up of atoms, and atoms are made up of smaller particles called protons, neutrons and electrons.
What is protons?
A proton is a subatomic particle with a positive electric charge. Protons are found in the nucleus of every atom.
What is electron?
An electron is a negatively charged subatomic particle. It can be either free, not attached to any atom, or bound to the nucleus of an atom.
What is neutron?
A particle that has a mass nearly equal to that of the proton, but no electrical charge, and that is present in all atomic nuclei except those of hydrogen.
What is residual current device? RCD?
An electrical safety device used to protect people from electric shock injuries by sensing the leakage of currents to ground and de-energizing the circuit to prevent the injury.
What is MCB?
MCB means miniature circuit breaker. It is used for up to 100 amps in the motor feeders.
What is MCB?
MCB min is molded case circuit breaker. It is used for 25 amps to 800 amps in the motor feeders.
What is ELP?
ELP means earth leakage circuit breaker. It is used to trip the circuit breaker if any leakage fault occurred means.
What is RCCB?
Circuit breaker, RCCB, is an electrical wiring device that disconnects a circuit whenever it detects that the electric current is not balanced between the phase hot conductor and the neutral conductor. Such an imbalance is so is caused by current leakage through the body of a person voice grounded and accidentally touching the energized part off the circuit.
What is dynamic electricity?
Dynamic electricity is the uniform motion of electrons through condition electric current.
What is static electricity?
Static electricity is the accumulation of charge on surfaces as a result of contact and friction with another surface.
What is electricity in the workplace?
Generally have power nominally supplied at 230 volt single phase and 400 volt three phase, although some larger workplaces will receive electricity at a higher supply voltage. The information below relates to workplaces using 230 and 400 volt supplies.
How can electricity be dangerous?
Electricity at any voltage can be dangerous and should always be approached with caution. An electric shock can occur upon contact of a human or animal body with any source of voltage high enough to cause sufficient current flow through the muscles or nerves.
What are the main hazards with electricity?
1. Contact with live parts causing shock and burns. 2. Faults which could cause fires. 3. Fire or explosion, where electricity could be the source of ignition in a potentially flammable or explosive atmosphere, for example in a spray paint booth.
Why is electricity dangerous to humans?
Because electricity moves quickly through water, and the human body is 70% water. And if the electricity is strong enough, it can cause the victim's muscles to tighten up so much he or she can't let go. Anyone who touches someone who is being electrocuted can become part of the circuit as well.
Why is electricity and water dangerous?
Electricity and water, a dangerous combination. Electricity would travel through the water and through you to the ground. This is why it's so important to keep all electrical appliances away from water, and to make sure your hands are dry and you are not standing in water when you touch anything electrical.
What is the meaning of electrical safety?
Electrical safety is a system of organizational measures and technical means to prevent harmful and dangerous effects on workers from electric current, electric arc, electromagnetic field and static electricity.
How much electricity will kill you?
Any electrical device used on a house wiring circuit can, under certain conditions, transmit a fatal current. While any amount of current over 10 mA (0.01 amp) is capable of producing painful to severe shock, currents between 100 and 200 mA (0.1 to 0.2 amp) are lethal.
What is electrical burns?
Electrical burns happen when the body comes in contact with an electric current. Our internal systems are not resistant to electricity, so you may be injured if a strong jolt enters your body. The most common cause of electrical burn is coming in contact with an extension cord where the insulation material has worn away. Low-voltage electrical burns can also occur in the mouth, most commonly when young children place non-insulated cords in their mouth. A burn may appear on your skin if an electric current runs through your body. These burns can be treated like a thermal or chemical burn. However, if you come in contact with an electric current, you should seek emergency medical attention immediately. Electricity can affect internal tissues and muscles and have long-term, negative effects on your health.
What are examples of electrical hazards?
1. Loose or improper connections. 2. Electrical outlets or switches. 3. Frayed appliance or extension cords. 4. Pinched or pierced wire insulation.
How can electricity kill you?
The voltage applied and the resistance of your body determine how much amperage passes through, and therefore how many watts are used. The quickest way for electricity to kill you is to pass through your heart and cause it to stop. As Joe Samson points out, 0.1-0.2 amps is generally enough to kill you that way.
What are the risks of working with electricity?
The main hazards of working with electricity are electric shock and burns from contact with live parts, injury from exposure to arcing, fire from faulty electrical equipment or installations.
What is electrical outlets dangerous?
Outlets are potentially dangerous, but the accident rate is low, but hardly guaranteed lethal. The biggest danger from outlets is touching the exposed prongs as they are partway inserted and from shorts in the exposed appliance wiring and possible fires from overcurrent.
What are the employer responsibility?
1. Use the correct cable connectors or couplers to join lengths of cables together and do not allow taped joints. 2. Electrical installations are installed and maintained by a competent person and checked regularly. 3. Socket outlets are not overloaded by the use of adapters. 4. Electrically powered equipment provided is suitable for use. 5. Fixed electrical equipment should have a clearly identified switch to cut off power in an emergency. 6. That portable equipment labeled as being double insulated has had the live and neutral connected properly to the plug by a competent person, unless the plug is of a molded type.
What are the hazards associated with electricity? Hazards.
1. Inadequate wiring. 2. Exposed electrical parts. 3. Wire with bad insulation. 4. Undergrounded electrical systems and tools. 5. Overloaded circuits. 6. Damaged power tools and equipments. 7. Using the wrong PPE and tools. 8. Overhead power lines. 9. Wet conditions.
What is residual current device? RCD.
If equipment operating at 230 volts or higher is used, an RCD, residual current device, can provide additional safety. RCDs are supplementary protection devices, which do not prevent an electrical shock, but are able to limit the duration of some shocks by enabling the rapid disconnection of the electricity supply when an electrical shock takes place. RCDs are mandatory on all circuits supplying portable equipment and on certain other circuits where the hazard of electricity is exacerbated by the proximity of water. An RCD is a device which detects some, but not all, faults in the electrical system and rapidly switches off the supply. The best place for an RCD is built into the main switchboard or the socket outlet, as this means that the supply cables are permanently protected. If this is not possible, then a plug incorporating RCD, or a plug-in RCD adapter can be used to provide additional safety.
What are the benefits for RCD?
1. RCDs for protecting people have a rated tripping current sensitivity of not more than 30 milliampere. 2. An RCD is a valuable safety device, never bypass it. 3. If the RCD trips, it is a sign there is a fault. Check the system before using it again. 4. If the RCD trips frequently and no fault can be found in the system, consult the manufacturer of the RCD. 5. The RCD has a test button to check that its mechanism is free and functioning and should be used regularly.
What is the importance of electrical safety?
This passage of electricity can cause great pain, burns, and even fatalities. To protect workers, you should properly educate them and ensure that your work environment is safe and free of electrical hazards.
What are the basic tips to help prevent electrical accidents in the workplace?
1. Use only equipment that is properly grounded or double insulated. 2. Do not overload outlets. 3. Do not plug multi-outlet power strips into other multi-outlet power strips. 4. Only use equipment that has been approved by a national testing laboratory such as Underwriters Laboratories, UL. 5. Minimize the use of extension cords. Do not plug two extension cords together. 6. Do not cover power cords or extension cords with rugs or mats, as this can cause issues with the wires, create potential tripping hazards, or fires. 7. Do not run electrical cords through pedestrian aisles. This creates tripping hazards. 8. Unplug or disconnect machines before service or repair, and check to make sure the machine is actually disconnected and powered off prior to service, lockout, tagout. 9. Do not ignore warning signs. If an item feels hot, makes an unusual noise, buzz or hum, smokes or sparks, take it out of service immediately and tag "Do not use." 10. Inspect cords and equipment regularly, and report any defects immediately. 11. Cover or guard any exposed electrical components or wires, and make sure employees are aware of any and all hazards. 12. Unplug cords from the outlet by gripping the plug. Do not just pull or jerk the cord from a distance. 13. Do not use electrical equipment or appliances near water or wet surfaces without a properly working ground fault circuit interrupter. 14. Never use electrical equipment when your hands or the equipment is wet.
What are the precautions to be taken to avoid electrocution?
1. All electrical work must be covered by an appropriate work permit. 2. The authorized person approved by the relevant maintenance team can carry out electrical work. 3. Electrical safety floor mats made from a special grade of insulating rubber shall be provided in front of switchboards or high-voltage equipment to protect personnel against accidental electric shock. 4. Warning tape on top of buried cables and electrical cable tiles must be provided as an early warning notice for excavations. 5. All portable electrical equipment must be approved by the maintenance team and shall be used as per suitability for the relevant area only. 6. Do not reach blindly into areas that may contain energized parts. 7. Do not enter into a space where adequate lighting and working space is not available. 8. Only industrial-type plugs and sockets shall be used on all locations other than offices and houses. 9. All testing and measuring equipment used for the electrical works should be tested, calibrated and documented. 10. Ensure all equipments are grounded and should be attached. See ELP. Inspect electrical equipments before use. 11. Electrical panel, junction boxes, pull boxes and fitting must have approved covers. 12. Unused openings in cabinets, boxes and fittings must be closed. 13. Don't overload on a circuit. 14. Maintain the distance from overhead power lines during the crane activity and scaffolding erection and other activities. 15. All cable of power tools, portable tools should be double insulated. 16. Don't use damaged extension cords and touch live wire and another wire at a different voltage. 17. Damaged equipment must not be touched until isolated. 18. Disconnect the power when not in use and when changing accessories. Use the appropriate PPE for the job. 19. Competent, qualified and approved personnel should be carry out testing and energizing of the equipment. 20. Electrical lockout and tagout system should be used when working on electrical equipments. 21. In the event of fire on electrical panel or equipment, the electrical power supply must be isolated and suitable fire extinguisher shall be used to extinguish the fire.
What are the standards for electrical safety?
OSHA's electrical standards are based on the National Fire Protection Association standards NFPA 70, National Electric Code, and NFPA 70E, electrical safety requirements for employee workplaces. They must, however, be at least as effective as the federal standards.
What are safety precautions you will take for a temporary electrical connection?
1. Temporary wiring shall be guarded or isolated by elevating to prevent accident contact with workmen or equipment. 2. Vertical clearance above walkways shall not be less than 3 meters, 10 feet, for circuits carrying 600 V or less. 3. Wires shall is insulated from their support. 4. Temporary festoon lighting strings shall be made up with cords having lamp sockets and connections protected by insulating coverings. 5. Extension cords shall be of approved types and used for the purpose for which they are made. 6. Expose empty light sockets and broken bulbs shall be prohibited.
What are the key points to remember?
1. Ensure that workers know how to use the electrical equipment safely. 2. Make sure enough sockets are available. Check that socket outlets are not overloaded by using unfused adapters, as this can cause fires. 3. Ensure there are no trailing cables that can cause people to trip or fall. 4. Switch off and unplug appliances before cleaning or adjusting them. 5. Ensure everyone looks for electrical wires, cables or equipment near where they are going to work and check for signs warning of dangers from electricity or any other hazard. Checks should be made around the job, and remember that electrical cables may be within walls, floors and ceilings, especially when drilling into these locations, etc. 6. Make sure anyone working with electricity has sufficient skills, knowledge and experience to do so. Incorrectly wiring a plug can be dangerous and lead to fatal accidents or fires. 7. Stop using equipment immediately if it appears to be faulty. Have it checked by a competent person. 8. Ensure any electrical equipment brought to work by employees, or any hired or borrowed, is suitable for use before using it and remains suitable by being maintained as necessary. 9. Consider using a residual current device (RCD) between the electrical supply and the equipment, especially when working outdoors, or within a wet or confined place. CHSE's Electrical Safety at Work site.
What are the law?
1. Construction Regulation, Ontario Regulation 213/91. 2. Ontario Electrical Safety Code. 3. Ontario Regulation 213/07, 2007. 4. Fire Code Part 4, Subsection 4.1.8, Handling Flammable and Combustible Liquids. 5. Ontario Regulation 851, Regulation for Industrial Establishments, Section 22, Subsection 4. 6. NFPA 70E Standard for Electrical Safety in the Workplace. 7. ZC 462 Workplace Electrical Safety. 8. ZC 460-05 Control of Hazardous Energy, Lockout and Other Methods. Please give comment and suggestions.
Thank you.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for more updates. Thank for visit our channel. See you next class.
Thank you.